Now, I've talked about this a lot, but I want you guys to practice, practice, practice. We're going to be saving images out for our journals all year long, and we're going to be working at different sizes all year long. And our image in our journal is almost always a different size than our original image. And I've kind of stressed this, but never absolutely insisted you work like this. Number one, the file needs to be saved. Okay, this file is saved. Photoshop or Illustrator doesn't matter. Make sure your file is saved before you do this step. And then I don't want for the rest of the year to go up to File, Export, Save for Web. I want you to learn this shortcut, to practice it, practice it, practice it. And look, I'm going to press, I do this all at once. I have my ring finger in my left hand on Shift. I put my thumb across Option and Command and use my middle finger to tap S. So it's basically, I just smush the keyboard with those three keys and then tap S with my middle finger. Brings up the Save for Web dialog box. You saw this take a moment. What the heck is this? A JPEG that's 5 megabytes? That's not going to fit. It's 5,000 pixels. So I've told you guys, JPEG high, and I've modified this, but if you guys just go to JPEG high, how come? Oh, I know. See, and again, mistakes, mistakes, mistakes. They help clarify. Okay, when you change the preset to JPEG high, the quality goes to 60. And we're going to talk about the reason you would change that. And mine's constantly changing because I'm doing other things that require different settings. But for right now, still, look, our JPEG's 3.5 megabytes. It's not going to work. It's not going to fit. And the reason is the size. So for a square, 1,500 pixels is a great size. And I'm just going to hit Tab to make this change. Now, if you're working for commercial work, there's a better way to change the image size ahead of time before saving for the web so we get the ultimate quality out of it. We'll talk about that further down the road. But right now, with 1,500 pixels, you see our file size is now down to 400K, and that's far more reasonable and works far better. So you just hit Return. See how Save is outlined a little brighter than the other two? That means that if you hit Return, it's going to commit that. I actually had one of these highlighted, so you have to hit Return a second time. And then this pops up, and I've already told you, if I see this anymore this year, I'm in a freak. So don't do that. You don't want Scotch go to freak. Poor old guy. And then you want to change this file name because you don't want to change the name. You want to add to it before the .jpeg. You never mess with that. That's the program. And I'm just going to put a 1,500 here because it's 1,500 pixels. And if there was no A, I don't want 10 1,500. I would have put an underscore, which is you hold down Shift and type hyphen, and you get an underscore. But it's not necessary in this case. We just want our files to let us know, hey, here's the big version, here's the small version. Okay, this is what we downloaded off Unsplash. And if you haven't done this already, we're going to do it later. And it's a way to keep your files organized. And you see my list is starting to get long. We're going to talk about busting up our files and organizing into different folders in our documents folders in order to be more efficient. But for right now, earlier in the year, this is good. So now we've saved out a smaller version that we can upload, and I'm going to use it for the featured image in this quest. So you can see, okay, there's a lot of moving pieces here, but if I practice, especially with this Shift Option Command S, ring finger on the Shift, thumb kind of sideways resting across Option and Command, and then middle finger hits S. Practice that because you're going to do it 150 times this year, or hopefully way more, because this is a digital arts class. We should be creating images. We should be saving out work. And if you're working on something really complicated, saving out works in progress as you go, so you can put up the evolution of your artwork in your mission log. What a concept. Okay? As we work, we get more sophisticated, more savvy, and everything. I hit escape to get out of that Save for Web dialog box because I already did it. We're done.